Alright guys, in today's video, we are going to be learning how to add destinations under this hero section here on the home page of our blog website as regards to the travel blog website we are designing. And we are going to be doing that using the Gutenberg page builder. And for that, I will assume you have logged on to your WordPress dashboard. And as you have done so, you know, like usual, you will see this black toolbar at the top here. And as long as you are still here on the home page, that we have the hero section here. Now come up there and click on edit page. So now you'll be brought to the Gutenberg page builder editor. So now here, like you already know, that we are going to be adding the top destinations under here, or whichever thing like best visited destination or whatever under here. And for us to do that, we are going to make use of a new group. Like as you know that this container that contains this hero section is one group on its own with elements and a group inside it. So now we are going to differentiate the groups as in the containers by naming them. Like as you see now that this first one is hero section. That is why if you come up here now and click on this document overview, you will see that it's group, and we have to rename it so that we can differentiate them and know which one we are working on. So for that, as we are here now on the first group, which is the first container, the first hero section, I will come at the extreme end here and click on options for group. Now come down here and click on rename. Then I will now call this one hero section. Then come down and click on save. Now as you can see now that the first container now is called hero section. So what I'm going to do, I toggle it up. Now I'll come up here and click on the Gutenberg element icon. Then I will scroll down to design. Here I will add another group. Now you can see the group down here. I will select the one column section. Now I'll click on the add block icon inside the group that I've just added now. Then I'll come down and choose heading. Now write my text, which is going to be like, for example, top destinations. Then with that, I click on it to make sure that the tool is active. I come up to the tool here. Then I make sure that I leave this on H2 because we have already had the H1 here at the top. So this second one is supposed to be H2. Now I'll come over and click on the align text icon. Then choose align text to center. So perfect. Now under this heading now, I want to add something like 3 columns here, just as you can see the one I am showing you right now on the screen. That is the way we are going to do it. As you can see that they have background images which represents the top destinations. So how we're going to do that is that we are going to come up here and click on the element icon of the Gutenberg. So now we are going to scroll down to design. So here on design, you can see that is a column. So just click on it. Then now you will see the boxes of columns here so that you can choose either one column, 2 columns, 3 columns, or whichever columns of your choice. But we are going to start with the one column section, which is this one. So now I will click on this cross icon to add a block, and the block I'm searching for is called cover. If you couldn't see it here, you can click on the browse all, or you search it here in the search input. Like I'm going to type cover, and that is it here. That is the one we are searching for. So just click on it. So now you will see this. Just go ahead and click on upload to upload the cover image from your PC, or if you have the cover image already in your media library, you can join me and click on media library. So I select the first image, then come down here and click on select. Now as you can see that the image has taken position. Now I am going to write the name of this first place, of which this one is Nigeria. So perfect. So now the next thing I am going to do here is to add a button so that when someone clicks on that button, he will be taken to the page that contains all the blog posts that is related to this destination, which in this case, we are using Nigeria as an example. So for that, what I'm going to do is to click on the body of the cover. Now, you will see this plus icon. Just click on it. Then you can either search for the element here in the search input like we did before, or you can also come down here and click on browse all. Now come down to design. Here you will see the buttons. Just click on it. Now you can see the button added here. So what I'm going to do is to click on the button to add my text. So on this one, I can write view more posts, for example. Okay, that is saying to view more posts that is related to Nigeria or to whichever country you are adding as one of your top destinations. So after writing that, just come up here on the widget settings. Let's make the button 100%. So I select 100%. Now you can see it is now full width. So now come over here and click on the styles tab, and here on the styles, let's select outline, then come down to the color and make the text a white color. So now I'll click on the color palette of the background. Now I will select it to be gray. So now with this, if you come up here now and click on update, then go over to your website right now and refresh this page. Now you will see the top destinations and one of the column sections of top destinations I have added here. So now as you can see as it is here, there is a default padding which resulted in this heading and the button to have a big space in between them. So what I'm going to do is that as we are back here, let me first of all click on the heading. Then come here under typography. I click on the set custom size icon. Now I click it again. Then it will show me these sizes. So what I'm going to do is to come here under typography, here on the size large. Then you can select it's either small. So now as you can see, there is a space between the heading and this paragraph or button as it is. So what I'm going to do is to reduce the space, which can be called margin. So that is why as we are here, you can see under here in the cover, we have paragraph and button, which is these two. So what I'm going to do is to click on the paragraph, then come by the side here. Here on the dimensions, I will click this three dot hamburger icon here, then choose margin here. Now here on the margin, if you hover on it, you will see there is a default margin added on it. So what you are going to do is to reduce it and make sure it's 0. And now if you come up here now and click on update, then go over to your website and refresh this page, then you will see now that this is how everything is looking. Now like I showed you before, we are supposed to have 3 columns here, but I said let me design the first column first, then we can duplicate it. So for that, I come back here again. So now we are going to do all the styling here on this one column, so that after that we can duplicate this column into 3. Let's go ahead and style this column once more. Like you see here on this button, I want to give it a hover overlay, because as it is now, there is no hover overlay. And the reason is because here on the customization section, if you go to general now and come to buttons, now go to design, you can see we gave it a background color. If we make it a transparent background now, as you can see, then click on publish. You can now come back here now and click on the buttons here. Then now come down and click on the button here. As you can see the button inside the buttons. Then come down and click on the background color palette. Now take it back to default. Then as you can see now, it has a hover color background. So now the next thing I am going to do is to duplicate this column to 3 columns. So for that, I will come up here and click on column. Remember we have columns and column. So I'm not clicking on columns, but I will click on column because this column is column inside these columns. So I click on this column. Now come by the right side here and click on these 3 dots options for column. Now come down and click on duplicate. So perfect. Now you can see the duplicate down here. Then on that duplicate again, I'll click on these 3 dots options for column again and choose duplicate again. Now it's 3 columns now, as you can see. If you happen to come up here now and click on update, then go over to your website. Now as you can see, this is how the top destinations columns is now looking on the home page of your blog website. So we are going to go ahead and edit the names properly. But before we do that, let's first of all link each particular column to its respective page. Let me start from the link to Nigeria page. Now, if you happen to come up here now and navigate to Nigeria, you can see this is the page that contains the blog posts that are related to Nigeria. So what I'm going to do is to come up here in the browser and copy the URL of this page. Then come back to here now. Then make sure I click on the button. to be active. Then come up here to the toolbar and click on this link icon. Then paste the URL here and hit enter on my keyboard. So now perfect. Then if you come up here now and click on update, now go back to your website again. Then click on the button to view more of Nigerian posts. Then you see you'll be brought to that particular Nigerian page. So back here on our home page, let's go back and work on the remaining two columns. So for that, we'll come back here on our page builder. So now back here, then what I'm going to do is to start from this middle one. So for that, I will click on the middle column. Then as you can see, it is active. And if you look down here, you see the cover image. So what I'm going to do, as I've clicked on it and the toolbar up here is active. That is why you see this toolbar. So I will come up to the toolbar and click on replace. Now, if you have uploaded the image, click on media library. But if you haven't, you click on upload to upload it from your PC. But as for me, I have it in my media library. So for that, I'll click on open media library. So now here, I will go ahead and select any image of my choice. Then come down here and click on select. You can see it is now selected. And as it's selected, if you come down here on the focal point, you can see this round point. Just use it and position the image where you want it to be. So I'll just position it like this, for example. Now remaining the heading. So for that, I click on the heading, then fill in the respective heading, which I'm going to say Biafra. So now in that same hand, I come up to the third column and do the same editing by clicking on it and it's active. Then I come up to the toolbar and click on replace. Now click on open media library. Come down and choose any image of my choice. Then come here and click on select. Now on the focal points, I'll focus it to any place of my choice. Now I'll come up and edit the heading by clicking on it. Then write my own heading, and this is Ghana. So now remaining the buttons. And for that, let's go over to our website. Then navigate to Biafra. Then copy the URL link. Come back here. Then click on the button here on the Biafran column. Now come up here and click on the link icon. Then paste the URL link and hit enter on your keyboard. So this is done. So now remaining the link to the Ghana column. So for that, I go back to my website again, navigate down to Ghana, then copy the URL, then come back here, click on the button of the Ghana column, and now click on the link icon and paste the URL inside this input and hit enter. So now the next thing I am going to do here is to increase the size of this heading, these top destinations. So for that, I'll click on it, then come here on the size under typography. I will select extra large. I think this is perfect. Now there is one more other thing to do to round up this particular video, and that is if you come up here now and click on update, then go back to your website, and here on your home page you can see there is no space at the bottom of these three columns. That is why they are lapping here. They are not supposed to lap on this footer widget. So for that, we come back here again. So back here, if you take a look at this structure here, you can see that there is something missing. And what is that? That is because if we are going to add a margin, which is that space at the bottom here, then as this structure is now, the group is separate on its own and the element is separate on its own. So that is why that what I'm going to do is that I will click on this column and make sure I place the column and all other elements under it under this group. So we first of all toggle it up, click it and place it inside the group. And as you can see, it's inside the group now. So I am going to restructure it to place this one above it, just as you can see now. So perfect. And with this, I can now go ahead and add a margin to this group by coming to the right panel here and click on the styles tab. Then come down here under dimensions here on the margin. Then I'll come up here and click on this icon, margin options. And now as we want to add the margin to the bottom, I'll come down and select bottom. Then now I can now come under it and click on the custom size icon. Then give it any size of my choice like 10 pixels. Then and with that, come up here and click on update. Now, if you go back to your website right now, then refresh this page. Now you will see the margin space under it. If you like, you can go back and increase the margin more, but I'm just leaving it like this for the sake of this tutorial. And with that, that brings us to the end of this video today. And in the next video, we are going to begin with adding the latest post under this column, just as you can see the one I am showing you on the screen now, that we are going to add a latest post content under these top destinations. Okay, so that being said, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next videos.